Welcome to REIA Radio.
Okay, I got my pet peeve of the week. You ready?
Okay, is it about me?
No. Okay. What's your pet peeve? Well, Owen, last week you gave us a huge cliffhanger about your hills and valleys, and you were super down because you had your first loss.
Well, not down. I ate it. Like, I'm fine. I'm glad it's gone. But yeah,
you had it down, and now we want to bring us back up. So tell us some positive stuff that's been going on.
Oh my God, so I just had the largest profit of my entire career on a wholesale.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm talking, this is not a Ted Koch wholesale. This is we bought it, we cleaned it out, cleaned it, and listed it the next day. And then we're now, it's now my largest profit. So I feel even a little funny about saying this because it's so ridiculous, but I'm going to tell you the story anyway. Okay. So I have been, over the last 3 weeks, traveling literally nonstop. Like, I've been to WealthCon in Las Vegas. I went to Branson for a family trip. I went to Western Nebraska and the Sandhills for a charitable golf outing event with a couple other investors. And so I've just been burning the candle at both ends here. And this house that we bought actually happened while I was gone. And my partner, Brandon, was in Italy. So we're both gone. And we signed our docs before we left. So it got closed. And I wanted to wait until it was closed before I ended up, quote unquote, bragging about this. It's not a brag. I just want to, it kind of is.
Brag it up.
Yeah.
You're celebrating a win, bro. Come on.
So we got an off-market deal, and it was in an area of Omaha that is very sought after. I'm just going to leave a little bit vague. I don't want to name exactly the house and whatever, but this is in and around kind of like Exarban, but north of there, really, really good area. A lot of Tudor style. All brick, a lot of affluence in that neighborhood. So a lot of people like living there. We bought this house off market from a lady that was, she just wanted an easy transaction. She was an empty nester. She wanted to move out of town to be closer to whatever she had going on. She was divorced, super smart, normal. I'm only mentioning that because sometimes in this business, when you're dealing directly with sellers, sometimes people are like, really motivated to sell because they're super stressed, right? They could be getting foreclosed on. They had a spouse cheating on them. They, were in bad financial problems, whatever. So this is pretty run of the mill. She's just like, look, I know I can probably make more. Like, I don't need to make a killing more. I just want to sell it for a fair price, get out of town, do it easy. Like, here's the keys, have fun. So we're like, yeah, we can make that happen. Long short of it is, we bought the property for, I believe, $402,000. Okay, this is and that's a little higher than what we normally buy. So typically we operate in the starter to move up level homes. Sometimes we'll get a little bit outside of that. In Omaha, Nebraska, you're probably looking at about like $250,000 for an exit price on a nice starter home in a good area. Would you agree with that?
Totally.
Okay, so $250K. So we bought this for $402,000, right? We cleaned it out, cleaned it up. We had no idea. We pulled comps on this, and we had the after repair value at about $500,000. That's where we thought, okay, that's where it's going to land. And this is a tricky one because you could do a $30,000 remodel on this and sell it probably because of the location. You could do a $75,000 remodel on this and deck it out and probably sell it for more and probably push the comps on it. It's a tricky one, You don't know how much to do a cosmetic remodel, like bling it out and do more. So we were kind of like, let's just put this on the market for a couple weeks as a wholesale and see what happens. Because it was just dated. Like the basement had some cat pee smell in one of the bedrooms or whatever. And that was really the worst of it. But it was dated. It probably needed a cosmetic remodel throughout. But this is a fairly decent sized house, and it had a dormer upstairs, which comes into play in this story. And I'm going to tell you why. So we clean it. We spend $600 on the clean out, another, I think, 300-ish on the clean, like a deep clean. So we're all in for less than $1,000. So we're in at, say, like $403. So I just get back, I think, from Vegas, I believe. Brandon's still gone. He's in Italy, so way different time zone change and so forth. I'm texting back and forth with my agent. It's like 9 o'clock at night. We listed on the first day we listed, we have 6 or 8 showings. And we get an offer that comes in, and I'm like fried from my trip. Like I'm adjusting to the time zone. I'm getting ready to go on the next trip and all this. And so point being, I'm not operating at optimal ON levels for whatever that means. So she's like, hey, hold on to your socks or whatever. We've got an offer. And I'm like, all right, what is it? So we listed this thing for $469, which I thought was aggressive. Right. So I was like, if we can sell it for $450, that's probably a good price as a wholesale. We net it all out. We'll probably make $35,000 on it after commissions and everything. Okay. Follow me so far?
Yeah, yep.
So she's like, okay, the offer is, and keep in mind, this is listed for $469. She said the offer is $550 and it's as is with no inspections. Conventional financing, so that there's going to be an appraisal on it. And I'm like, in my head, I heard $450. So I was like, we just listed it. It's $20,000 less offer. This would probably be fine, but let's counter at $460 or $462 or something like that is what I said. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to just imagine what her reaction to getting my text back was. Like, what a total complete moron that I am. I'm not realizing that it's actually $100,000 higher than this. So I'm like, let's counter at $460. She's like, this is a really, really good offer. An emphasis on really, really, right? And I'm like, okay, I guess. And so I look at it. I go, wait, what? This is literally verbatim. I should probably read this thread. It'd be hilarious, but it'd take me too long to find it. But I'm like, oh my God, like $550,000? Are you freaking serious? And so I'm like, like hitting the button to accept wherever I can, like as fast as I can. And then Brandon's not chiming in because he's in freaking Italy, right? So I'm like, we're accepting. I don't care what he has to say. Take it. And then what I don't take the time to do is think through the impact of the appraisal on this deal, right? So this totally could have fallen apart. Like they got an appraisal on it and it could have come in way low, like $460 or $450 or whatever. And then what? Then you have to negotiate with the buyer. They could back out of the deal. They could say, hey, we'll still buy it, but you got to eat the difference. They could eat the difference. Could be a split the difference, right? There's all these things that could happen. But I'm not thinking any of this. I'm just
You're
like,
so
oh my God, take it. And I go, Brandon, you're going to totally have a, Woody when you wake up here and see all this. And so we accept. And then we're just like waiting for this appraisal, right? Because Brandon, that's the first thing he says the next morning is not like, oh my God, this sounds great. Good job, guys. No, it's like, what about the appraisal? With like 3 question marks. And I'm like, geez, man, you're such a buzzkill. But anyway, so I give him a hard time about that. But anyway, and then I was like, yeah, I thought of that after we already accepted or whatever. And so long story longer, at the like 2 weeks later, we get the appraisal. Guess what the appraisal comes back at?
550.
500.
Oh.
Just like we thought it was going to be worth. So we're like, well, that sucks. I mean, because the first thing when you hear that is you're like, well, we're going to have to eat it. I mean, the house isn't worth what they, you know what I mean? So what happened was evidently these buyers really, really, really want to be in this area and they've had a whole bunch of crap fall through, right? So they wanted this house bad and they were going to bail on it, but they found that the upstairs, like dormer all the way upstairs, would add additional square footage that they really wanted. And so they're like thrilled. They're excited about this. They end up eating the entire difference. We didn't even ask. They didn't even ask us if we would participate in that. And I'll leave it there. Like I wouldn't, I cannot even tell you how freaking flabbergasted I was at this deal. And it closed yesterday.
Wow.
So do the math.
What the
I
hell?
mean, like there's commission. We gave a bonus to our agent, like as we should have. I mean, we made a lot of money on this, like well north of 6 figures. And it should not have gone that way. I screwed up multiple things. I'm flabbergasted. And so my point in all this is, aside from being really freaking excited about it and making up for my huge loss the week before, is you can still do these deals in this market. It just takes the right buyer. That's what's so freaking exciting about this business, you guys. Like any given day, you could wake up and make over $100,000 and not do any really much work. You just need to know what you're doing. You got to have systems and processes in place to make this work. So I'm just saying, put yourself in the game because shit can happen that you have no idea might be able to. Like, so I'm really pumped now. Like I was really down on, I was kind of down last week, and then now this week I'm like, oh my god, let's freaking go. You know what I mean? So yeah, quite the roller coaster in my life lately.
I can't believe their agent didn't
Unbelievable.
have him negotiate or
I
anything.
know. Didn't even ask.
What
Well, her commission or his commission probably would have been nice too because
Sure.
they're higher, you know.
Yeah.
So,
But it was, I guess, in this instance, we bought the house. We gave the seller a win, quote unquote. Because they wanted a simple transaction. They wanted it easy, as is, cash. We made it simple for them.
right.
Here, give us the keys. We got the rest. We got you. She's out the door. We're like, we want to make, obviously, some margin on this, so let's try and wholesale it first. We got a buyer. They're thrilled. We're thrilled. Our agent's thrilled. The buyer's agent's
everybody's
thrilled.
happy.
Like everybody's happy.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I'm just blown away by this. I still can't believe it came together.
It's a crazy deal, but it's
Yeah.
everybody's happy at the end. No one feels like they were burned or anything like that. So that was a good thing.